Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of NFL Fantasy Live. I'm Marcus Grant, joined by Michael F. Florio and Adam Rank. And now that we are through 2 weeks plus one game of this season, what have you figured out about fantasy football?
Injuries are not fun. And when you have a team with a lot of injuries, it makes it a lot less fun to play fantasy.
Rank, anything new there?
Nothing. Just when you thought somebody like Ramondre Stevenson, you're like, oh, he'll go out, have a decent game. I mistakenly, and this goes on me, I thought for sure he'd get a point last night. Dead wrong on that one. So just chalk that up to Rank screwed you again, and there you go.
Yeah, it was rough for everybody starting Ramondre Stevenson. I'm among you. I walk among you, so it, doesn't make you feel any better, but, just know that you have some support there. We did have a whole Thursday night football game where we had some takeaways from it. A little bit of what we learned from TNF. And, Florio, looks like Aaron Rodgers might be back.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers having his best game on an island game when you have been a Rodgers doubter is not always the most fun, but that was easily the best that he has looked as a Jet. What I liked is his mobility in the pocket looks better. He even started running a little bit with 18 rushing yards. I still think he is a QB2 for fantasy purposes. That brings more of a safe floor than a high ceiling, but I'd rather have him right now than players like Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, or Kirk Cousins moving forward.
Yeah, definitely some upside from Aaron Rodgers. There was some frustration, though, if you had some of his pass catchers, namely if you had Garrett Wilson, because the ball was going other places. Allen Lazard has 3 receiving touchdowns so far this season. We saw Tyler Conklin getting involved, and there was a little bit of, I won't say panic, but worry, I think, about Garrett Wilson until late in the ballgame when he catches a touchdown. See, the thing about Wilson is they're not forcing the football to him. And you look at the first couple of weeks, he had the 49ers in week 1. He had L'Jarius Sneed primarily in week 2. He had a lot of Christian Gonzalez last night. I will tell you this, doesn't get a lot better in week 4. The Jets have the Broncos, which means Wilson's likely to see a lot of Patrick Surtain. So with the matchup not being there, Aaron Rodgers is not going to force the ball, which means guys like Lazard and Tyler Conklin could be very much in play going forward.
Well, the first play of the game went to Garrett Wilson, which was positive. There was a misconnection in the end zone, so I'm with you. I'm not really too concerned about it moving forward, but where there is a lot of concern is at the running back position. And you know who you are. By the way, those of you who drafted Breece Hall and started sending notes to your friends like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't take CMC first overall, only to have your running back, Breece Hall, in a potential timeshare situation. Well, the good news is that Breece Hall did still play over 70% of the snaps. He got close to 20 fantasy points in a PPR. That's great. That is sustainable. We expect that each and every week. Braylon Allen is going to be there, and he's going to be a part of this offense. And I think for those of you old enough to remember, it reminds me of MJD and Fred Jackson. Like, 2 running backs can be good on a team. LaDainian Tomlinson and Michael Kendall's looking at me, our researcher. Do you remember MJD? What'd I say, Fred Taylor?
Yes.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. It'll be okay, Kendall. You don't have to worry about it too much. Yeah, sorry. You remember, you never watched the NFL before the Jags were even a team.
MJD is my favorite running back of all time.
Sure he is. I thought you were a Giants fan.
I am not. I'm a Bills fan, but I also, Demario Douglas had a good game yesterday. 9 targets, 7 catches, 69 yards, but I'm not sure I trust it just yet because coming into week 3, it was Hunter Henry who led the Patriots in every receiving stat. We could see a quarterback change coming. Look, if you want to pick him up to see if he can build off of this, fine. That's totally fine. I wouldn't trust him in your week 4 lineup, though.
Yeah, the passing game for New England still with a lot of work to do. The offensive line struggled to protect Jacoby Brissett. They can't push the ball downfield. Just not a great situation for fantasy. But anyway, that is what we found out about Thursday Night Football. There are some things we want to find out about some of the other teams around the league, and to help us